Master PLO KOON was one of the most powerful Jedi in the Order during the Clone Wars era. He was Keldor species, which required him to wear this special mask, giving him this unique look. During the war, he was present in many of the most important battles. He led the wolfpack and was very interesting Jedi because of his connection to his troops and his nature. He was a great example of a wise Jedi Master. He did not act impulsively. He was calm and able to save his lives or other lives in other crucial situations. This is why he was such a valuable Jedi general during the conflict and why he was seen as one of the most powerful Jedi at the time. He was an impressive fighter and force user, one of the few survivors of battle in Petronaki Arena on Geonosis and Battle of Abrigado, and what was also special about him is that he was a great pilot. He knew the galaxy well and its threats and could anticipate danger, making him excellent even in the cockpit of his starfighter. However, this master fell at the end of the Clone Wars when Palpatine issued Order 66. At this time, PLO KOON was on patrol flight on Cato Neimoidia with other clones. It was after the battle, which made it even worse because this was the situation that PLO would not even anticipate any attack, and clones led by Jack gunned him down. It was heartbreaking to see because PLO saw clones as individual people and never as expendable, but when it came to Order 66, clones did not hesitate. So how would it even be possible for PLO KOON to survive all of this? The shooting down of his ship and crash seemed like massive damage, but when we look at it from a Jedi perspective, it could be something they might endure. The explosion of his starfighter was caused by clones attacking him from behind, and it was possible that he could have survived it. First of all, we have seen many other characters survive huge explosions, some characters on Jabba's sail barge, Echo in the Clone Wars, and others. If someone avoids the full force of an explosion even slightly, there is a chance of survival. It is true that PLO KOON was at the center of this explosion because he was sitting right in the ship, but I still think there was another factor. Jedi can deflect energy with the Force, including fire and explosions. Before PLO KOON's ship crashed, we can briefly see that he puts his hands in front of him. It seems like he would be ready to use the Force to lessen the impact of the explosion. The ship also crashed into a building. We have already seen several characters survive ship crashes. Combined with the explosion and the betrayal of clones, this would be too much for an ordinary person, but PLO KOON was not ordinary. He was a powerful Jedi Master who could use the Force to his advantage and survive something this extreme. Nowadays this wouldn't be even a stretch. There is also this deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith where PLO KOON ejects from his starfighter, but it's immediately targeted by clones. This makes the scene even more brutal, but it shows us that ejecting was also a possibility that PLO KOON could do perhaps later when he crashed. If he somehow survived, the crash and explosion would convince the clones that he was truly destroyed. PLO would need to hide and he would most likely be injured and unready for further fighting. He could even be in critical condition which required extensive care, and he would be removed from everything happening in the galaxy at the time. Perhaps he needed a long time to recover, and the Empire would be convinced at this time that he was gone and no one would hunt him. Question is where he would be at this time. Maybe someone took care of him, as there were still some Jedi supporters left in the galaxy, and maybe there were some another allies of this character we never even seen. There is also a chance that after healing, PLO KOON would even end up with prosthetics. There is some interesting information that we have known for some time, and it has really strong connection to this theory. In The Mandalorian Season 2, one of the most shocking moments was the return of Luke Skywalker. This scene was kept completely secret. Even when some of the leaks appeared, none of them mentioned Luke, and biggest surprise was this cameo right at the end, and it was protected carefully. In the behind the scenes documentary, we learned how they managed that. Bringing back Luke was a massive challenge and required de-aging technology, Mark Hamill, stunt double, advanced visual effects and other things, and they really tried to protect this secret, so creators took extra measures. They created fake scripts, concept arts and even visual effects. Dave Filoni made interesting choice and used PLO KOON as a decoy in this situation, and he really used Plo Koon as a red herring, as he is one of his favorite Jedi, so he was kind of this mask for Luke's cameo in the Mandalorian finale. And that's why Plo Koon appeared in concept art and effects work, which helped mislead people into thinking he might return instead of Luke, and that makes this interesting because they chose this specific character. Out of all Jedi they could choose, they chose Plo Koon. Because who were deceived by this could reasonably ask, how is he alive at this time? So this should have been plausible, at least slightly. And maybe, just maybe, there was a small chance that Plo Koon's survival was considered at this time. Perhaps the idea was toyed with more than once. This could be a subtle hint that they might bring him back in the future, during the era of the Mandalorian, during the era of the New Republic, and maybe in other related show. Plo Koon is important to the story because he was a great example of Jedi Master, wise mentor and powerful warrior. If he survived, he would be an incredible mentor for a new generation of Jedi. Some Jedi survivors don't need much explanation, but Plo Koon was well known and powerful Jedi, so he would definitely need one. This is similar to Mace Windu's situation. Many fans also theorized about his survival, but story-wise it becomes harder to place him on the timeline as time goes on. With Plo Koon it's even more complicated. Story-wise, reuniting him with Ahsoka would make much sense. They were close and he was the one who brought her to the Jedi Temple. But what would be his purpose? I don't think he would join the New Republic or Luke's Jedi Academy. Instead, I can imagine him traveling and exploring other ways of the Force after betrayal and near destruction of the Jedi Order. He might seek ancient techniques, forgotten worlds, connection to the Force, or maybe some other life. There is great story potential here, but there are also a lot of unanswered questions. So what do you think? Is there a way Plo Koon could be back and he could have survived Order 66? Would it be right thing to bring him back? I think it would be fascinating to see him react to events like Anakin's fall to the dark side, something he never witnessed, and it could really shake this character down, and he could really change his calm demeanor and reveal other side of him that we have never seen before. The fall of the Jedi was a massive tragedy. Seeing Plo Koon reunite with other survivors would be also incredibly interesting, and this is just a fun theory. As I mentioned, characters have survived similar situations before, so I don't think this is the most far-fetched theory you ever heard. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. These videos takes a lot of my time, so to support me you can like, comment, subscribe or share. I'll see you next time.